The Islanders win. Welcome back to Belmont Bunch. We're talking about the Islanders winning game one in overtime. A game I was so confident would end in the first OT that I wrote final OT and not final, like 2 OT. Anyway, this game could have gone either way. It was an amazing game of hockey. Back and forth, as you could see. Well, no, because I didn't put it by. Anyway, great effort from the Islanders in the first period. Decent. The great effort was in the third. Good effort in the first. It was more dynamic than they have been in a while. Palmieri immediately was setting, getting himself involved physically in the game. Created a 2-on-1 early on. Was laying hits left and right. A lot of the Islanders were. The Islanders had 71 or 72 hits in this game, and I think 30 of them came in the first period. And the Islanders, it was a little more open than I think the Islanders would have wanted. They get the first goal through Palmieri. It's a good shot that probably should also be stopped by Jarry. And Jarry, very, very early on, it's obvious where to shoot on him, high glove side, because it goes for the Islanders twice today. And it's pretty clean beat on both of them. And obviously that is now the scouting report. Keep doing that. Sorokin starts. Varley, obviously a little bit more banged up than Barry wanted to let on. That's, part of trying to create like a smoke screen for the other team not to know what's going on with you. I'm okay with it, whatever. Sorokin looked pretty good. I know some people would probably be angry that I didn't say better because he had a couple of splits that he made incredible saves on in the first period. Unfortunately, the Gaudreau goal kind of came. Sorry, I'm thinking the splits were in the second period. Unfortunately, Gaudreau got one. It was a tough one because it was Bailey, I think, blocked the puck a couple times in a row. And then the third attempt, Gaudreau got some space and ripped it top corner. Islanders a couple of times. This one a little bit less so because it was preceded by a couple of block shots. The Islanders maybe sitting back a little bit too much. We'll get to that when we get to that. So it's 1-1 after the Gaudreau goal. And Crosby would get one in the second period on an amazing tip, but it starts with bad puck management from the Islanders. And if the Islanders are going to win the series, they're going to have to improve this. And they're, fortunate to get out of this one with a win when they managed the puck so badly for the first, for definitely the second period and parts of the first period. Icings, bad puck management, I should clarify. Icings, bad, like where you don't have pressure on you and you're still turning the puck over. You're putting your teammates in a bad spot when it should be an easy pass. We had a few of those. Letty just gives it straight to Gensel on this second goal by Crosby, and then it gets set up top, and then a deflection. So there's not much you can do on the goal itself, but in the lead up to it, Nick Letty has to be better. Scott Mayfield has to be better. And I was nervy about Dobson every time he was on the puck. So that's a little bit scary because that's like half your defense that you're calling out there. And then also like Andy Green to an extent worries me. So basically that top pairing just play the whole game. But the Islanders get it tied again. They get it tied. JG Pageau, again, rips top glove side. He had this exact goal, I think, against Buffalo this year a couple times. So the shot is in him. And when my brain connected the dots right as he goes to shoot, I'm like, goalie who isn't good with high shots, Pageau who rips him. And so I wasn't even that surprised when he scored. So it's 2-2 after 2. And pretty back and forth. Shots indicated that it was pretty close. It did feel pretty close, even though, you were a little bit nervous going into the third because despite tying it up, it was not great puck management, and the Islanders had a 4-minute power play that went nowhere. Fortunately, the Islanders' penalty kill was pretty solid. A power play in the first period for the Penguins. The whole 2 minutes it was in the Islanders' zone, but the Islanders are able to survive it. Sometimes your goalie is your best penalty killer. That's the cliche. second power play, the first minute. So like the first 3 minutes of power play time in this game, the Islanders didn't get a clear. They finally get a couple at the end of that power play and survive that. Later on, after the 4-minute power play where they only get 2 shots on goal and do nothing, they get like 2 shorthanded chances. So this team is better. This team is more dangerous offensively through Leo Komarov and JG Pageau on the penalty kill. So that's not like great, but it is good that their PK is, surviving. Not taking advantage of a Pittsburgh team that doesn't have a great power play, penalty kill, but we don't have a good power play. So that was something I think I said in the series preview. But anyway, Islanders lock it down a little bit in the third. A little bit. The Islanders play a really good third, and they're one good shot, one mistake, depending on your perspective, away from winning this in regulation. Brock Nelson, deep into the third, rips one through the legs of Letang and under the arm of Jari, and I think Islander fans are prepared, and I knew there was a lot of time left, and I was on the phone with my friend kind of calling it, little by little. 31 seconds later, so my friend is down in Georgia. I'm calling him. I'm like, dude, we scored. He's like, what? Because he's not watching. And then, he's excited. He gets pushed into the water on a boat. It's a long story. And then 31 seconds later, I have to go, hey, they tied it. So that took a little bit of the bite out of the Nelson goal. Kapanen kind of walks in, and a little bit too passive from Mayfield and Green, as Kapanen kind of just takes it in a little too tight and rips it off the post and in. So for the 3 goals allowed by Sorokin, not much he could do. Could his rebound control be better? Yes, there were a couple times where they didn't get whistles and they needed it because they were out there for a while. The first period and the second period, the Penguins were able to bog the Islanders down in their own zone to the point that the Penguins didn't have to play too much defense. And so it must have been a little bit frustrating for them to watch their goalie give up a couple of, shots from the outside. So that is maybe something that, if either they go to DeSmith and he cleans that up, or if Jari just cleans it up on his own, the Penguins still are probably feeling okay in this series. The series already looks like it could go the distance, which is what I was thinking. I think I had Pittsburgh in 7. I think I might have said 6 on the thing, and then I wrote 7. I went with 7 for my NHL bracket, if you want to look at that. So what else can you say other than let's talk about the game winner? So the OT period, a little bit cautious, but there were a couple of chances here and there. The game was more open, definitely more open in the second period and the third. But there were, spots where maybe it's just OT and you're like hyper aware of everything. I should mention late in the third, there was a play that I thought Crosby was going to the front of the net. I thought he was going to win it, and I just didn't see where it went. I was like, it didn't go in. And Josh Bailey needs credit for that. He blocked it. Josh Bailey, well done. I thought he played all right, even though he didn't really show up too much on the score sheet. I thought he played all right. Game winner. Puck in the offensive zone. They did a good job of transitioning, not something they did incredibly well throughout the game. And in this case, they're able to get it deep. Puck finds itself on Palmieri's stick, who settles it out of the air, just throws it to the net, and thank God, Palmieri really seems to have the monkey off his back because he has a beard now. But he also because he is just putting stuff on net, and the confidence is growing, and you can see it. And he on that line with Pageau and Wahlstrom, really looking good. Kind of makes up for the fact that the first line was pretty invisible today. And second line looked good. Third line looked good. Fourth line was fine. So, yeah. You probably would have thought I'd be more excited. I immediately went out and called a bunch of my friends. And so, and now I have to get ready to do a bunch of work for work. So, Islanders take game 1. Excited to see where this goes, who starts game 2, but just also excited to see the Islanders playing with fire again for the first time in a month or 2. But anyway, that's the video, and we'll see you next time on Belmont Bunch.